Advocacy. This is my passion. I want to speak for those who can't speak for themselves, and I want to fight for those who just can't fight anymore. As defined by Merriam-Webster, advocacy is the act or process of supporting a cause or proposal, but it really does go way beyond the textbook definition. My whole life, I've always been the girl that is always overly passionate about everything, that I'm the girl that doesn't ever shut up once I start talking about something that I love. So I guess that you could say that my passion is passion itself. Just the driving force that you would do anything for something that you love is what keeps me going. I put my whole heart into everything that I do, and I always try to find the deeper meaning that's beneath the surface that other people don't really see. But it's because of this searching that I also find the flaws. And I'm not really the type of person to just sit back and watch mistakes be made. I like to take action, or at least I plan to in my future. Someday I want to go to law school. Whether that takes me to being a lawyer, or a governor, or a senator, or beyond, I don't know. I still don't know the answer to that question. But I know that having that education under my belt would really do a lot for me in being able to actually make changes, to be able to change the laws that affect things that I love. I don't really think that being a congresswoman that sees the emotion behind everything that she's fighting would really be too terrible, right? To put it simply, I just want to right the world's wrongs. I just want to do what I can to make things better. I really think that that is my purpose, is to act on the things that I love, to make my difference, to make an impact that lasts way beyond my years, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. You know, I just want to leave something behind when I go. Maybe someday I'll be president. But who knows? If that happens, don't worry. I won't forget to mention Briar Cliff in my inaugural address.
My passion is babies. Don't get me wrong, that may sound weird, but let me explain myself. To clarify, my passion is to help babies. It has always been my dream to become a nurse, but not just any nurse. A nurse in the NICU. Or for those of you who are not familiar with that term, the Neonatal Intense Care Unit. It was August 16, 2011 when I first discovered my passion. It was also that day when Ishmael was introduced to the world. Being born 2 months early means he was a premature baby. Not only that, his head was the size of a peach, and a washcloth was his blanket. You may think I'm over-exaggerating, but I'm not. My father's hand was bigger than Ishmael's body. And because he was a premature baby, he had to be put into the incubator right after birth. He was poked and probbed every single day. It wasn't until 2 days later that the nurse came and told us that he wouldn't survive. As those words left her lips, I felt as if my whole world was crashing down. I always wondered, how can someone say something like that so easily? As I looked at my parents, they also were as shocked as I was. No matter how much we tried to feed him, he wouldn't gain weight. I remember how much my mom would cry, but even still, she prayed. I just watched him from afar because I know I couldn't do anything for him. I always wondered how long we would have with him. It wasn't until one morning that he magically weighed 5 pounds. The lucky number 5. Once a baby reaches 5 pounds, we're allowed to take him home. We took him home that following morning. Within the week, he gained more pounds than he was within the hospital. It was as if God had answered our prayers. So what exactly is my passion? My passion is to help those babies in need. Those babies that people give up on, just as the nurse had given up on my brother. And that's my passion.
Hi, my name's Elise Berg, and my passion in life is reading. Ever since I was little, I've loved reading. When I was 3 years old, everyone thought that I could read, but really, I just had all the words in my favorite picture books memorized. My love for books continued to grow as my mom would read books out loud to my brother and sister and I as we sat in the living room and gathered around her and just listened to her talk about whatever. It didn't matter what book she read. We were always just in a trance when she was reading. It was so amazing. So even when we would go on vacation, we still had to read. So we would listen to the newest Harry Potter book that was out on tape. And we would all listen to it as we traveled for like hours and hours across the country to get to our destination. And it was amazing. I loved it. I loved every second of it. It made us so much closer as a family. So I think that love for reading has really traveled with me through life. Over the years, I've read as many books as I possibly could, and even now I'm in college and I'm definitely busy, but I'm still making time to read as much as I can, some novels and just some things that make me feel at home even when I'm not at home. So this passion has definitely influenced my choice in a major, which is elementary education. And as a teacher, I'll be able to help my students learn to read, which is one of the most amazing gifts in life. It's so essential to everything. And my goal is to show my students how powerful reading can be. I mean, it's fun, it's relaxing, it's entertaining, you can just enter a different world when you're reading a book. You can leave the world that we're in and leave your troubles behind and enter a world where you're just one of the characters in the novel and you're just following them, and it's just a great experience. So I want everyone to share in that and believe in that and be a part of it with me. I think that the simple act of teaching kids and helping them to understand my passion is amazing, and being able to do that as a job is something that not everyone is able to do, and so I think it's great that I get to do it as my profession. But outside of the school environment, I'll definitely be reading aloud to my children and passing on my passion to another generation. So, reading is my passion, and I'm off to go read a book now.
Hi, my name is Kate Rydell, and I'm a secondary education and theology major. As theology majors, we embark on a journey that's impossible to complete in this life. We seek to know God. We seek to know a God who is indescribable and infinite. Yet we embark on that journey anyway because we believe that a God who loved us so much that he gave up his life for us is a God worth knowing. And that the only proper response to that kind of love is to give our whole lives to him in return. Since I was very little, my mom's taught my siblings and I that the purpose of this life is to know, love, and serve God so we can be with him in the next. And there's many ways to know, love, and serve God, so I'm still trying to figure out what he wants me to do in the future. But for now, I just am trying to live every day for him. And some of my favorite conversations are the ones where a friend comes up to me and they ask, "Now, Kate, don't get offended, but I've heard this about the Catholic Church, or I've heard you guys think this. Is it true?" To me, that's a huge compliment and a huge responsibility that my friends trusted me to be their source on the Catholic faith and on what the Church teaches. I light up on the inside because they've asked me to talk about my favorite things, my God and my faith. Sometimes, though, I think they regret asking me that question because my answer is never short. It's like in the book of Acts when the Sanhedrin ordered Peter and John to stop talking about Jesus. Their answer was, it's impossible for us to not speak about what we've seen and heard. It's just impossible. But anyways, that's what I want to do with the rest of my life. I want to teach people about our amazing God and his church. I think we're all searching for things in this life that only God can provide. I think very often we settle for a lot less. Like, we're looking for joy, but we're settling for happiness. We're looking for love, but we're settling for something that's more like lust. Or we're looking for that deep inner peace, yet settling for fulfillment. I want to spend the rest of my life telling people that God made them for so much more. Like St. Augustine said, "We were made for you, O Lord, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you." When I go to Mass or when I spend time in prayer, I know that my heart is at rest. And it's there that I learn to center my life on Christ. As Catholics and Christians, we seek to know the living God. God who is truth and life and love itself. We need nothing more than that.